they said it'll be Chief Prine doing the interview? Okay.
From what I understand.
Okay.
And,
The shot is up on line 1. I was aiming at the door when something happened because I was not having my shoulder all that time. Second, I turned mine on and it was
Yes, I am. Mic check, test, test, test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, testing. Mic check, live outside MPD headquarters. Check, 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 testing. Hopefully you can hear me because Chief Brian's about to come up. So hopefully, okay, thank you.
All right. Good. How are you?
Doing good.
What are we waiting on?
We're waiting on you.
Oh, you're waiting on me.
You man.
Okay, so today we're going to identify Mr. Thomas Earl Thomas Jr. as our shooter for the New Year's Eve shooting that occurred in the 200 block of Dolphin Street. And he will be coming out here momentarily. He'll be charged with 4 counts of felony offenses. One's going to be murder, 1 count of assault first degree, 1 count of shooting into an occupied correction building and an unoccupied building. And so he is out of University Hospital today. We have identified him. The PIO will certainly put out his information as to who he is. And as far as that's concerned, we will consider this case closed at least at this juncture. And then, of course, we look forward to the day he's prosecuted.
And Chief Ryan, you telling us that he's being charged for not only shooting and killing Mr. Reeves, but also the other 7 innocent people in downtown as well?
No, he is being charged for 1 count of assault first degree involving the other individual that he engaged in gunfire with. He shot another individual. That individual shot him. And we're not going to release his name just yet. But that is the charge of assault first degree that he is receiving today.
So another shooter is responsible for shooting those people then?
No. So Mr. Thomas is responsible for the shooting of the 7 other victims that were involved in the New Year's Eve shooting. There was another individual that was an associate of the deceased who shot Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas then engaged with gunfire with that individual, and they shot each other. And so Mr. Thomas will be charged for shooting that individual. There could be additional charges of assault for the remaining 7 victims, but we are still working with the district attorney's office. There are still some challenges that we have to overcome, and it would just suffice to say that he'll be receiving those 4 felony charges today and booked into Metro Jail.
And I mean, this is a Glock switch that was used in public, you know, where a lot of people were standing around, and some 7 innocent bystanders, is that right? That were
Yes.
hit? You know, any statement that you want to issue today, now that you are officially making the arrest and taking Thomas to jail?
Well, I can tell you this, and I've said it from day one of this administration: this will not be tolerated under any circumstances. It doesn't necessarily mean that we will always be able to stop it or prevent it from happening, but I can assure you, how many times have you seen the Mobile Police Department right now getting ready to do a perp walk? That in and of itself says that we will not tolerate it. And I would just have a message for any other would-be criminal in our community: it's not tolerated. The Mobile Police Department has a resolve that's not going away, and I can assure you we're going to do everything we can every single time you commit violent acts in our community. We're going to be there right along with you to put you in jail and see you prosecuted until you go to prison.
Can you give more detail about what happened that night at this point?
I've given you about as much as it is. I mean, we've had a bunch of people that went down there, certainly our shooter, and the shooter and the victim got into some sort of verbal altercation where Mr. Thomas pulled out his handgun and immediately shot and killed our victim. And then he engaged in gunfire with an associate of the victim, and then indiscriminately shot into a crowd, wounding 7 other people. That cannot be tolerated in a civil society, and it won't be tolerated today.
And just to clarify, the other 7 people are innocent bystanders, correct?
As far as we know, the other 7 individuals that were injured in the gunfire were completely innocent. But the investigation is still ongoing, and if we determine that any of them, or anybody else for that matter that's involved in this particular case, we will see it to the end to ensure that they're prosecuted.
And Chief Ryan, can you at least tell us at this time the other individual that you're not naming right now that fired back at Mr. Thomas, is he facing charges?
More than likely, probably not, just because of the scenario that I've already described to you. But that came as a result of a lot of counsel and conversation with the district attorney's office.
Okay, so self-defense possibly.
Well, it could be, but nonetheless, it would suffice to say that the person that was shot by Mr. Thomas as well, that is still in the hospital recovering, he is a victim as far as this incident is concerned.
And of the people that were injured, can you give us a breakdown of male, female, of the 7 that were injured?
Yeah, I can have Katrina to get that information to you. It's obviously, when you're dealing with this many individuals and all the other things that we're having to deal with, it's kind of hard to keep up with that. All right. All right. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're 10 out more. Thomas, do you have anything you want to say?
Did you shoot people at near Cathedral Square on New Year's Eve? Were you downtown at that
Police
time?
are saying this is gang related. Do you have any gang affiliation? Why would they
What
be
gang
saying
are
that?
What gang are you in? Do you have
The reason
anything
why
to
you
say?
opened fire on a crowd of 12,000 people on the night of New Year's Eve?
Do you have anything to say to the families that were in that area at the time that you opened fire
Or
on?
do you have anything with relationship with just Sagittarius? Okay. Lauren. Mhm. Mhm. Well, Shelby, right now I can tell you we're getting a live look as Mobile Police escort the suspect right now. We were just out here questioning the individual that they have arrested. It is a 22-year-old gentleman by the name of Thomas. They say he is being arrested and charged with the murder of 24-year-old Jatarius Reeves. Now, this has been on the top of everybody's mind. That mass shooting that happened on New Year's Eve night where 10 innocent people were shot. Now we're told that Jatarius Reeves is one of the victims that was killed, and police have made an arrest. I am going to tell you all the charges that he is facing as we are just getting this information here right now. They're telling us he is going to be charged with several charges right now. We'll come back to that in just a moment, but we'll bring you that in the latest. Again, that gentleman has been arrested. So you're taking a live look now at the video of him being escorted right now on his way to Metro Jail. And we have just asked Chief Prine several questions regarding how they were able to find him. He say that Thomas is responsible